Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of something new. It could be a decision, a challenge, or an idea you can't stop thinking about. But as you stand there, fear steps in. A small voice begins to whisper, "What if I can't do this? What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail?" It's paralyzing, isn't it? That moment where the weight of the unknown feels too heavy and the thought of stepping forward makes your heart race. This feeling, it's not unique to you. It's a part of being human. Every one of us at some point in our lives has been in that exact moment, caught between fear and possibility. It's uncomfortable, it's uncertain, but it doesn't have to define you, because fear is not a stop sign. It's simply a signal that something extraordinary might be waiting for you on the other side. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel that knot in your stomach, that hesitation in your mind, and the weight of all the what-ifs pressing down on your shoulders. Fear is a natural response when we step outside of what is familiar and comfortable. It's not a flaw, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's a part of the journey. When you're standing there, unsure of your abilities, doubting whether you're capable or good enough, you might feel small, so small compared to the size of the challenge ahead of you. It's as if you're staring at a mountain, and all you can see is its towering peak in your own trembling hands. That moment is daunting, isn't it? But within it lies something extraordinary. Here's what we often forget. Fear isn't the enemy. That feeling of doubt, of discomfort, isn't there to stop you. It's not a wall blocking your path. It's a signal. It's the universe whispering, "This matters." That fear is your body and mind recognizing that you're standing at the edge of growth, on the brink of discovering something new about yourself. It means you're alive and capable of transformation. Think about it. When have you ever felt fear while staying in the same place, doing the same thing day after day? Fear doesn't show up in the routine, in the easy, or in the predictable. It shows up when you're about to venture into the unknown, when you're about to stretch beyond the limits you thought defined you. Fear is an indicator of possibility. You might feel small, but within you lies the potential to rise to the occasion. Fear is not there to shrink you. It's there to challenge you. It's there to test whether you're ready to meet the moment. And you are. The beauty of fear is that it's an invitation. It's a chance to try, to take a step forward, even if it's shaky. Whether or not you succeed in the way you imagine doesn't matter as much as the act of stepping into the challenge itself. That's where the magic lies. Each step into the unknown teaches you something new about yourself. It reveals strengths you didn't know you had, and builds resilience you never thought possible. Fear is the signpost that you're heading somewhere meaningful. It's the flicker of light at the start of a tunnel, urging you to move forward, even if you can't yet see the full path. It's okay to feel scared, but don't let fear be the reason you stop. Let it be the reason you begin. So the next time you feel that fear, acknowledge it. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is the signal. This is the start of something important. Fear is not the end. It's the doorway. All you have to do is step through it. But here's the thing, that fear you feel, that weight of uncertainty pressing down on you, it's also a gift. It might not feel like it in the moment, but fear is offering you something precious, the opportunity to try, to step into the unknown and uncover parts of yourself you haven't yet discovered. It's a chance to see yourself from a perspective you've never considered, to reveal a side of you that has been waiting quietly for its turn to shine. Trying is a gift, not because it guarantees success, but because it guarantees growth. Whether it works out the way you hope or not is another story. The outcome is secondary. What matters most is that you found the courage to try, to take the first step when everything inside you whispered, "What if you fail?" Trying is its own victory because it proves to you that fear doesn't control you. It simply challenges you. When you choose to try, you give yourself the opportunity to know yourself in a new way. Each attempt, each step forward, strengthens you. Even if things don't go perfectly, even if you stumble, you gain something valuable: experience. And experience shapes you into someone wiser, someone braver, someone who understands that life isn't about avoiding mistakes, but about learning and growing through them. There's a quiet beauty in trying. It's not in perfection, not in always getting it right, but in the act of showing up for yourself. When you step into a challenge, when you face something that scares you, you're making a powerful statement. I am willing to see what I'm capable of. That willingness, that decision to try, is what transforms you. Here's the truth. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers or get it right the first time, or even the second or third. All you have to do is be willing. Willing to step forward, willing to face the discomfort, willing to embrace the possibility of not knowing what comes next. Because trying, even imperfectly, is far more powerful than standing still, waiting for the right moment that may never come. Think of trying as planting a seed. You don't know exactly how it will grow or what it will look like when it blooms, but by planting it, by making the effort, you've already started something. And no matter what happens, you've taken an important step forward. That seed might grow into something you never imagined, or it might not flourish in the way you hoped. But either way, you've learned. You've gained something you wouldn't have had if you had simply held on to the seed, too afraid to plant it. The act of trying is how you move forward, even when fear tells you to stay still. It's how you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your doubts, braver than your insecurities, and more capable than you ever imagined. And with each try, you gain a new experience, a story of resilience, a lesson learned, a moment of growth. Trying is never wasted, even if the results aren't what you expected, because every time you try, you're building something inside yourself that no one can take away. Courage. Courage to face the unknown, courage to take risks, and courage to keep going no matter what. So, when you're standing at the edge of something new and fear whispers in your ear, remember this. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. Willing to try, willing to discover, willing to grow. And in the end, that willingness is what makes all the difference, because it's not about the outcome. It's about the journey, the strength you find along the way, and the person you become through the process. That is the true gift of trying. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is feeling the fear, hearing the doubts, and stepping forward anyway. This truth has been proven countless times by those who chose to act, even when fear loomed large in their hearts. Imagine these stories, not tied to any specific person, but universal examples of bravery in the face of uncertainty. Picture a young woman standing outside the door of her first job. She holds her breath, trying to steady herself. She's plagued by questions. What if I make mistakes? What if I don't belong here? The fear feels overwhelming, but she takes a deep breath and steps inside. With each task she takes on, each question she dares to ask, her confidence grows. What seemed impossible just days ago now feels like a path she was always meant to walk. She didn't wait to feel ready. She simply began. And through trying, she found her footing. Now imagine a mother who has spent years focused on her family. She's dreamed of going back to school, but doubts and fears have whispered for so long. Am I too old for this? Can I keep up? Will I fail? The challenge feels monumental, but one day she decides to enroll. Her first day is filled with trepidation, but she shows up anyway. Over time, she discovers not only her capacity to learn, but a strength within her that had been quietly waiting to be unleashed. The journey was not easy, but it was transformative, and she emerged more resilient than she ever imagined. Finally, envision an older woman who has always dreamed of painting, of traveling, or of climbing a mountain. She's told herself for years that it's too late, that opportunities have passed her by. But one day she stops listening to the voice of fear. She picks up the brush, books the flight, or laces up her boots. The first strokes on the canvas are shaky, the first steps on the trail uncertain, but she presses on. And in doing so, she discovers that dreams don't have an expiration date. The joy isn't just in the outcome, it's in the act of finally trying. Each of these stories, though abstract, carries the same truth. Courage is not about eliminating fear, it's about acting in spite of it. It's about refusing to let fear decide who you are and what you can achieve. Whether stepping into a new workplace, returning to education, or chasing a lifelong passion, the common thread is bravery. Not the loud, roaring kind, but the quiet, determined kind that whispers, "I'll try." If they can do it, so can you. Because courage isn't reserved for the fearless. It's not about having every doubt erased or every step planned. Courage is about taking the first step when your heart is racing and the path ahead feels uncertain. It's about saying, "I might not know how this will turn out, but I'm willing to see where it leads." Let these stories remind you that fear doesn't have to stop you. Instead, it can be the very thing that pushes you forward, toward growth, discovery, and the life you're meant to live. Fear can feel overwhelming, but the secret to overcoming it is simpler than it seems. Take one small step. Action has a unique way of shrinking fear, turning it from a looming shadow into something you can face. You don't need to have the entire path mapped out. You don't need to have all the answers. All you need to do is focus on one thing you can do right now. Maybe it's making a phone call, writing an idea down, or simply saying yes to an opportunity. Each small step builds momentum, and momentum creates change. Remember, you don't have to face fear alone. Seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Share your doubts, your worries, and your dreams with someone you trust. Sometimes, hearing the reassurance of another voice can quiet the doubts in your mind. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a family member, let their encouragement remind you that you are not alone in this journey. Finally, celebrate every effort you make, no matter how small it seems. It's easy to get caught up in results, to measure success by whether you've achieved the goal you set out for. But the real victory lies in the courage it takes to try. Each step forward, no matter how uncertain or imperfect, is proof of your strength. Action, support, and celebration. These are your tools to move through fear and toward the life you want to live. Let each small step remind you of your power. Let every bit of encouragement lift you higher. And let every effort, no matter the outcome, fill you with pride. You are capable, you are courageous, and you are moving forward. One step at a time is all it takes. The fact that you're even considering stepping outside of your comfort zone speaks volumes about your strength and potential. Just by entertaining the idea of taking that first step, you've already demonstrated a remarkable level of courage. The moment you acknowledge that fear and still choose to move forward, you're tapping into a well of power within you that is limitless. You have within you the capacity to face challenges, learn from them, and grow stronger with every step. Now it's time to take the leap, embrace the unknown. The future may not be clear, and the path may not be paved with certainty, but that is where true growth lies. You are capable of so much more than you know. Every leap into uncertainty is an opportunity to uncover strengths you didn't realize you had. Every challenge you face is an invitation to discover a new version of yourself, someone more resilient, more capable, and more confident. Remember, courage isn't always loud. It doesn't always shout from the rooftops or make grand gestures. Sometimes, courage is quiet. It's that soft, persistent voice inside you that says, I will try again tomorrow. It's the voice that refuses to give up, even when the way forward seems unclear. And that quiet, unwavering determination is enough. So, take that step. Move toward what scares you, and know that even if you don't have all the answers, even if you don't feel fully prepared, you are already on the path to discovering something incredible about yourself. Keep going, keep trying, and know that courage, no matter how small, is always enough.